kicker. That's Cameron Dicker, set to get us started. And we are underway in Southern California. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. The Raiders offense heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's another typical season for Jimmy G. Last year, when he was out there, he was excellent, leading the 49ers to 7 wins and throwing 4 times as many touchdowns as interceptions. Then the injury bug bit again. But Las Vegas, they're counting on him being able to do the exact same thing they saw in San Francisco, but avoiding injury while doing so.
Right away, here's Garoppolo to throw it. He gets this to Davante Adams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
In every game, we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Now the NFL's leading rusher a season ago, Josh Jacobs. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
So here's a 3rd and 14. Garoppolo now. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. 5 yards, and that means they come up short, as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
The 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. So the Charger offense making its way out, and at the controls is the league's 2nd leading passer a year ago. At 25 years of age, out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
The Chargers just continue to improve and take steps forward under the quiet leadership of Herbert, who's been the most productive quarterback in league history through his first 3 seasons. Over 4,700 yards last year. He's expecting to crack the 5,000-yard mark in this season.
Play action. It's Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd down and 8. Herbert now. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Oh, and that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Now 4th down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott. DeAndre Carter back deep. Take it at the 37. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Kenneth Murray coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Now how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment.
Come on, let's go. Let's dominate this.
The Charger drive about to get going. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Now the 7-year veteran, Austin Eckler. And that's going to be good for a Chargers first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. That's going to be caught. It's Palmer. Still going. Touchdown, LA! Josh Palmer, 66 yards. And the Chargers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Josh Palmer. Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. We're down to the 41.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Play action. Garoppolo. And that one too wide and incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Here's Darius Davis on the return. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Herbert's this throw taken in by Johnston. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. A little short pass. This is Everett. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, but when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now Herbert off the bootleg. That is caught. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Herbert on 1st down now. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Palmer. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Second and 6. Herbert off of play action. And, oh, that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And that is incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And his kick here is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the 2 teams here in the 1st half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. DeAndre Carter returning it. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down and 6 now from the 26. Open man right side, Myers. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Basically, you're not going to outwork two guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
2nd and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. That's to the veteran tight end, Austin Hooper. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Garoppolo again. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Same target. It's Jacobs again. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They'll give him 4 yards there. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Here's 2nd and 10. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports halftime report. We're accustomed to seeing strong quarterback play. We got that in the first half from Justin Herbert. He has a touchdown pass, and that amounted to the only touchdown of the game for either team thus far.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
That's good for 28 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Right side, he has Johnston. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Again, Herbert. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
Well, they can put him in a number of different places. In line, H-back, put him in the slot. In this case, they put him out wide. Matchup nightmare. Who are you going to send out to cover him? And he picks up a 1st down with that catch.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. He'll get this down to the 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. They're going to go toss right side with Eckler. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Herbert. His throw complete right side to the tight end, Parham. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24. Here's Herbert. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his 1st sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Herbert now. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Eckler is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. It's Eckler again. And this time he is in. Austin Eckler taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends were on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They make their 2nd half debut here. Things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Garoppolo now. Caught on the right side by Adams. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Three quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Garoppolo's throw there complete to Myers. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a throw here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 5, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got to key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was right for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
This is your game, baby. Come on, baby. Get low. Let's go, man. Can't stop it. Let's go do this thing, baby. Go, baby.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. He'll hand off here to Eckler. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Marcus Epps there on the tackle.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. 3rd and 10. Expect a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now it's Herbert. That is caught. That gets by him, and now a little daylight. He's still on his feet, and he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, these guys are not going to go out with their tails between their legs. They're going to keep taking their shots until the clock's at 000s. But that one, like a lot of others, winds up incomplete.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And that's complete to Adams. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Lets this go for Renfro downfield. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. This is caught. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
This Charger defense continuing to hold the line. Now it's a 3rd and goal situation. Garoppolo again. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Davante Adams. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Herbert to a knee, and that should just about write it into this one. Partner, you and I were excited for this one today, and it certainly had its moments. Some good execution at times by both of these offenses. Defenses both made some plays as well. And always a joy to be up here in the booth next to you, my friend.